Somewhere in the freezing water of the polar seas, there are fish swimming through liquid cold enough to freeze their own blood. That should be impossible. And yet they do it, not by staying warm, but by carrying biological antifreeze inside their bodies. In icy oceans, water temperature can drop below the normal freezing point of a fish's body fluids. For almost any other animal, that would be a death sentence. Ice crystals could form inside soft tissue, growing sharp edges that tear through cell membranes and destroy the machinery that keeps an organism alive. Freezing from the inside out is one of the most brutal ways nature can end a life. But certain polar fish never let that happen. They produce specialized antifreeze proteins that circulate through their blood and body fluids, and these proteins do something remarkably specific. They attach directly onto tiny ice crystals the moment those crystals start to form, and they stop them from growing any further. This is not the same as raising body temperature. The fish is not warming itself up, is not generating heat to push back against the cold. Instead, the proteins make the act of freezing itself harder. They interfere with the physical process ice needs in order to expand, latching onto a crystal's growing edges the way something might block every entry point, so a crystal that starts to form simply cannot recruit more water molecules to join it. The ice gets stuck at a harmless, microscopic size instead of spreading into something lethal. It is a precise molecular trick built for a brutal environment, and it does not turn the fish into some invincible creature immune to cold. The fish still lives in cold water. It still moves slowly, conserving energy in a place where warmth is not really an option. It still depends on a whole set of careful adaptations working together, of which the antifreeze proteins are only one piece. But without those proteins, the surrounding sea would be a far more dangerous place, one where a stretch of especially cold water could turn a living fish into something far closer to a block of ice. What makes this even more remarkable is that evolution did not stumble onto this trick just once. It found the same basic solution again and again, independently, in completely different branches of life. Insects surviving brutal winters use antifreeze-like molecules of their own. Certain plants use similar molecules to protect their cells from frost damage. Some fungi rely on comparable strategies to keep functioning in freezing soil. Fish, insects, plants, and fungi are not closely related to one another, yet they all arrived at variations of the same basic idea, each shaped by its own biology, each solving the same fundamental problem in its own particular way. And the idea itself is almost deceptively simple. You do not have to fight an entire winter. You do not need to generate enough heat to hold off an entire ocean of cold water. You only need to control the very first ice crystals, the ones so small they are invisible, before they ever get the chance to become something deadly. Win that tiny battle at the microscopic level, and in a sense you win the whole war against the cold. This changes how we might think about survival in extreme environments. Survival is not always about heat, about generating enough energy to stay warmer than your surroundings. Sometimes survival is about managing structure, about controlling how molecules arrange themselves at a scale far too small for any eye to see. A single tiny protein, invisible on its own, can be the difference between ice as a harmless passenger in the bloodstream and ice as a weapon capable of ending a life. In the polar sea, life is not simply enduring the freeze, gritting through it and waiting for the cold to pass. It is actively negotiating with the cold, molecule by molecule, crystal by crystal, in a quiet chemical standoff that never really ends. As long as that fish keeps swimming through water, that should, by every ordinary rule, have killed it already. Follow for more random things you may not know.